Dude, okay, we just saw some crazy.
Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
We are on our way to go to Boise, basically a little bit. Actually, we're going to a city next to Boise, but we're doing, well, I'm doing a photo mentorship. I talked about that in my last video, and he's just coming because he's cute.
Yep.
You're gonna hang out with me.
Yeah.
And work in the, so we're going to an Airbnb, obviously, and he's just gonna stay there and work probably the whole time. But wish it's gonna be an 8-hour drive.
Long day today.
It is. We're dressed very cozy, very cozy. So we have an 8-hour drive today. We'll try to vlog if anything interesting happens. Something interesting did just happen. Just walked our dog, and on the way home,
might have been something domestic that we just saw, but basically there was a car that drove away, a truck that drove away, and a lady screaming F you, and there's broken glass and there's a bunch of water everywhere.
We don't know what happened. We just saw her screaming and the car driving away. So
that's the math equation.
We're gonna drive by and ask if she's okay, and if we need to, we'll call the authorities, but I think everyone's okay. We'll just ask anyway. That was weird. So we're gonna ask her on the way out. We're gonna start our road trip now.
Don't exactly know what's going on, but we were just trying to help and see what was going on, and she just ran up to our truck and just started cussing at us. So we kind of just rolled up the window and got out of there. I didn't see any weapons or anything, but she was sweeping up glass, like a lot of it. The truck that drove off was a black Dodge Ram. The lady was like furious. I mean, like screaming at the top of her lungs. My last name is Terrell, T-E-R-R-E-L-L. Dude, okay, we just saw some crazy. So we were walking down the back street, literally walking Finn, our morning walk. We got back to the house, and as we were walking into our driveway, there's this black it was actually a Dodge Ram 1500, but it was kind of like pulling out of her driveway, or maybe towards the end of that other side of the street to the left of us. And dude, she was unglued. She was like all this stuff, and then there was glass on the ground, and there was a crap ton of water all over the street, or some type of liquid. We saw this, and she was sweeping up the glass and everything, and we're going to Boise for a couple days right now, so we were like getting packed and getting ready. We packed up the truck, and we were like, hey, let's like go check it out to see if like if she's okay or everything. We literally like start pulling out of our little driveway, and she's speed walking to our truck. And I rolled down the window, and I'm about to say, are you okay? And she goes, all this stuff, and we just hightail it out of there, and I instantly call the cops right after. So she was, dude, I don't know what's going on. I thought she was gonna like bash in our windows or something like that. I just wanna make sure that like you guys are okay and everything, because she was literally walking towards us and towards our house, because we saw. Well, we're stressed. We had a crazy start to the trip. The first.
I wish we recorded that.
That wasn't even the first
4 minutes.
Wasn't even the first 30 seconds of our trip, and that was crazy. So I called my neighbor. So he's heading back to the house right now just to kind of check things out and make sure everything's okay. Really, really scary stuff what just happened. So we called the cops, obviously, because that was quite a bit of an alert. So they're heading over there right now, and we're supposed to get an update from them after. I just want to know like what happened and what's going on and what to do in the future type thing.
But it sounds like, from what he was saying, our neighbor was saying, is that she has mental health issues, which is sad but scary, because if she's that paranoid and thinks everyone's after her, then you can't win anyway. She's just always going to be crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, that's you know, it's sad that like that's her reality, but like that's not an excuse to ruin everybody else's lives around her. So hopefully the next
7 hours.
7 hours are smooth sailing.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
We made it to Idaho. I'm looking like a mess. I drove the first 5 hours and Garrett drove the last 3. We're about 12 minutes away from our Airbnb, and then we have the debates tonight that we're gonna watch when we get to the Airbnb, and then probably Uber Eats some food. We'll show you guys a little tour, maybe tomorrow morning or another day. Depends on how late tonight the debates get done. But we made it. I wish I could show you guys the sunset, but it's really pretty. And we're tired. I'm tired. I had to take Dramamine because I get car sick, and that always makes me tired. But ready to relax the rest of the night.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.
Okay, so we're headed to a photo shoot with Rosie.
Morning.
We're very tired. So sleepy.
A long night watching the Washington State gubernational presidential debate, which is very important to us Washingtonians.
I got 8 hours of sleep. I'm just tired. I don't know, because we don't wake up this early at home. A little photo shoot with Rosie, and then we might go get breakfast and then go back to the Airbnb. We are going to get breakfast. We're going to get breakfast, and then we're gonna go back to the Airbnb, and then I might take a nap. And then I have my mentorship thing with Rosie for pretty much the rest of the day, and then we're gonna go to dinner with Rosie and Ryan and Garrett and I. What are you gonna do while we're busy?
Well, I'm not gonna sleep because I got 6 hours, 6.5, I believe. Yeah. What?
Oh, are you gonna do real estate or?
Well, of course, yeah. What else am I gonna do?
Okay, we're pretty. So pretty. What's that from?
No clue.
Okay. So we are at Eagle Island State Park in, I don't even know if we're in Boise apparently, or I don't know. Anyway, it's foggy and it looks really pretty, and I'm gonna push Garrett off that thing. You don't have to stop.
Well,
I don't think.
Okay, we're just. It's like $5. Please stop. Oh, don't stop or pay $5. Oh, okay, great.
This is ridiculous. What?
Just a perfect circle.
What? That's so cool.
Just a perfect circle.
That's so cool. Have you seen those videos where you can draw a perfect circle with your rotator cuff?
No.
Okay. Alright, bam. We just finished our photo shoot with Rosie.
So much fun.
They're gonna be so good. She's just so good. And there was fog, there was a sunrise, there was a blanket, there was this guy. So we're gonna go to Joe Mama's for breakfast. Never been there before. Not something that we have. And go eat breakfast.
Yes.
Anything you want to say?
Nope, not right now.
Okay, bye. Okay, we just had breakfast.
Oh, we just had an amazing breakfast.
We sat right by the John.
Literally, I kid you not, my back was about that far away from the bathroom sign.
And we were just like, as we're eating our food, like making eye contact with everyone going in.
Everybody was walking by, I was like,
and we knew those old ladies that were in there a while. Because we knew when they went in, we knew when they came out, we knew when they flushed, knew when they washed their hands.
We heard it all.
We just is very good, you know? But like, Garrett and I...
Just, if you're a waitress or a waiter out there, just have some feel. Like, just, there's booths open all over the restaurant. Just put us in a booth. Don't put us near the John.
Literally, there's like all these booths open. Well, I mean, every other, because they have all these. Oh, I need to get you directions for COVID, obviously. But anyway, here you go. Yeah, there's all these booths open, but they just put us in the table right by the bathroom. So that was fun. The other thing is I wanted to tell them the story about the Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
So this trip has just been funny. So like I was saying,
it's been good, but there's just been a couple things that have gone kind of south, and we're laughing about it and not making it bad at all.
They're not really like that big of a deal. It's just like, we're just like, oh. And then everyone's like, oh, that never happens. It's like, we hear that every day. Like literally something that never happens to us every day, I feel like.
Every day.
We're those people. It's funny though, because it keeps life interesting. I booked our Airbnb and I have nothing to complain about except our arriving experience. So,
and parking situation.
So I booked this Airbnb that had a 4.9 star rating. That's a good rating. Okay, I have nothing else to say about that. And the reviews were like, it's a guest suite, so it's attached to the house, which normally I wouldn't do. But I didn't really like the other options that I was seeing. And this one had like chickens in the backyard. It's on like a 2-acre farm is what they say, but it's like chickens basically. Anyway, beautiful like white house, little farmhousey looking. It's super cute. The guest suite is attached to the house. And the owners were very kind, communicative, all the things. Everything was checking out and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be great. Everyone says in the reviews that like you have your own privacy, like they're not gonna bother you when you're there. You're not gonna see the owners, which if someone like waves at you because they live there, like I get that, but that's not really what happened. So we pull in and I told them what time we were arriving. We're probably like 20 minutes after that, but we pull in last night, and this is why we didn't vlog last night, because we just felt uncomfortable a little bit, and so we just went to bed basically after we watched the debates. We get there and the owner and his son were working on their truck, which of course it's their house. Like I'm trying to be clear that I'm not like complaining. I just think it could have been done a little bit better. They're working on their truck and they're like staring at us pulling in and everything. They told us to park like on this specific spot in the driveway because they have like this really wide driveway. The tricky thing though is that their truck was like literally, I don't know, touching like where we were supposed to be. And they had all these pieces on the floor, all these like mechanic
oil
mechanic, I don't even know.
tools.
They're like totally taking apart this truck. And so I rolled down the window, which like, I used to be more social. I think quarantine has made us more antisocial. Like
correct.
Now, not that I don't like people, but I'm just like, if I wasn't prepared to talk to somebody, I don't really want to talk to somebody. So I rolled down the window and I'm like, hi. And the guy's like, hi, he's being nice, whatever. And then I'm like, aren't we supposed to park right here? And he's like, yep, just pull right in. We're like, okay.
Where?
So we like pull in, but we're about to hit all this guy's stuff because it's like all over the ground. And like I said, there was like probably 10 or 15 feet of driveway that they could have been parked on, not where we were supposed to be. Garrett's like biting his tongue because he's Italian and he's sassy and he wants to say something all the time, right? And I always have to tell him to keep his mouth shut because in those situations, I'm better about like covering how we really feel. So
I'm not.
He's not. So we look at each other, we were both like, what do we do? This is awkward. I was the one talking and Garrett's like literally biting his tongue next to me. So I roll the window down again and the son's right there. It's probably like, I don't even know, 20-year-old kid?
18, 20, something.
And I was like, hey, are we good right here? Are we about to hit anything? And he's like, well, you're about to hit my stool. And I was like, okay,
like,
okay,
oh,
sorry.
Don't let us get in the way, sorry. Don't let us intrude.
He's dramatic. Anyway, so then I was like, okay, sorry, like we'll stop right here. But then Garrett gets out of the truck and then the owner's like,
I gotta say this part. This guy literally, so we parked the car.
He was nice, be nice.
No. We parked the car. I got out of the truck. He told me to re-park the truck, get back inside and re-park the truck. I guess I was just surprised that they had such high ratings when this experience that we were having was so like chaotic. It was awkward.
It was awkward. And it's like, we had just driven like 8.5 hours. We're tired. We haven't had any food all day. And so like, whatever. It's like, there's so many other problems happening in the world. We know that, but it just, we're paying a decent sum of money. Like, I just don't want to feel uncomfortable. Then he tells us to re-park and Garrett's like he's just steaming and I'm like, stop, honey, stop. Like he shuts the door. I'm like, don't say anything. Let me talk to them. And so then Garrett just like reparks, which, I mean, reparks, like we had to just scoot over, but they were so close to us. Like he could have literally been like 10 feet away in their truck. But anyway, I could tell the owner felt uncomfortable, which I'm sure he probably realized like that it was making us uncomfortable. But then he also like, I don't know, we sound like jerks, but he kept like talking to us, and then they were like watching us because obviously we're kind of in their way, like getting out of the truck. And I like got out of the truck and the son's like watching me get my stuff, and I was like, sorry, like we'll get out of your way. But it's like your guests shouldn't feel that way, you know?
Yeah.
And we just hurry to the back because we're like, let's just get inside. We go to the back, and if you guys have stayed at Airbnbs, or if you've seen these before, you've probably seen them, but they have those keypads where you don't actually need a physical key. You literally just put in the code, you get inside. Super easy. We're really familiar with them. We had them on our Airbnbs and everything. So we typed in the code, and I was like, I don't know if I'm losing my mind or this is not working. Like literally the door is locked. It's not opening.
The deadbolt was locked.
So they accidentally locked the actual lock, which we have no access to a key. So at this point, like, thank God they're home, but this shouldn't have happened.
Thank God they're right around the corner.
If they weren't home, then we would have probably left and not had a great review.
What did I say?
He didn't say anything because I didn't let him. I'm like, shh, shut up.
I was like, you talk to him.
No, he just goes, and he was like, I
can't talk to
and
him
I was like, shh, don't stop. And I was like, want me to go talk to him? Garrett's like, yes, I'm gonna say something. I'm like, okay, I'll go. And so I go around the corner, and the guy and his son are like under the car working on it. And I was like, with all of my bags still on, I'm like, excuse me. And I come around the corner, and he's like, huh. From here on out, basically I just was like, hey, your like door is locked. And he's like, oh yeah, you just put in the code. And I'm like, yeah, no, like the actual handle is locked. We can't get in. And then he's like, he was very kind. I have nothing against the guy himself. No. And then he was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This has literally never happened. And I'm like, of course it hasn't. Story of our lives. So anyway, it really was like not a big deal. I think it was just all those things adding up. So by the time we get inside, I was like, I feel so exposed, and I feel like I'm intruding on their home, and it didn't feel like homey anymore.
We felt like a nuisance.
Yeah, we felt like we were bothering them, even though we're paying them to be there, which it was just all a weird experience. I'm sure they feel equally as bad, but it just was uncomfortable. Anyway, then that night we just like shut all the blinds and everything and locked them out, and then we ordered Uber Eats, and then Garrett
had to walk out.
I was like, sorry, you're gonna have to walk outside again and talk to them.
Had to walk out and sit there for a couple minutes and kind of talk, kind of not. Just small talk to make the time pass.
So, we do like people, you guys. Like, we do. I think it was just that we've had our own Airbnbs, not for very long, but we had them, and it's like
2 very successful ones.
The things that happened shouldn't have happened that way.
Yeah.
And so I think especially because we've been on the other side, we were like, what are you doing as the host? Like that, it made us feel so uncomfortable.
As a host, you have to have spatial awareness and just regular awareness. Like there's just a certain space type thing that you just can't break when you have guests over, and they just weren't, I don't think, aware of us, which was kind of unfortunate. They have a great place, they have a great Airbnb,
beautiful house,
but the awareness was just lacking, unfortunately.
Well, and I think because you could just tell that he felt bad, like, and he said another thing about the truck. He's like, we're never out here working on anything, it just, we happen to be working on it right now. And I'm like, oh good, love that for us. So anyway, right. I just think it was also because we were tired and hungry, like that obviously puts you in a worse mood. But yeah, so with all that said, but anyway, okay, this is gonna die. I think we should end this video here. We could start a new video for the second half of the trip, show you guys a tour of the Airbnb. I would recommend it as long as you're like aware that you might run into them. If you don't want to run into anyone, probably don't stay here. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay.
Don't recommend it.
So if you want to follow along with our lives, go follow me at Terrell on Instagram, and go follow him at Garrett_Terrell on Instagram.
And all real estate referrals go to Terrell Home Group on Instagram.
just self-plug on my channel. Rude.
I'm your husband.
So
you signed your life away.
Yeah, I did sign the dotted line. He does like a whole real estate channel now. If you guys are here for real estate, you're in the wrong place. You need to go to Garrett.
Yep.
That's what it's called, huh?
That's it.
All right, that's all. Okay, bye.
Bye.